Thanks for staying with us. Joining us from our Abuja studio is the Director General of the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, Kashifu Abdullahi, to explain with us this federal government's plan for young digital innovators in the immediate term. Welcome with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning,
Mr. Kashifu Abdullahi. We are with you, Mr. Kashifu Abdullahi. Thank you for joining us. So, one of the reasons why we really wanted to have this conversation is we've been hearing about the digital economy. And we know that that's the new world. Everybody's going digital. But what does that mean for your administration to infuse digital economy to help young people get employed and engaged as we move forward?
Okay, thank you for having me. Firstly, digital economy is the fastest growing economy in the world. According to Statista, in 2018, digital economy contributed 13.5 trillion to the global GDP. And that went up to 23.4 trillion US dollars last year. And it is projected to reach 53.3 trillion US dollars this year. That meant almost more than 50% of the global GDP. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu mandated our ministry to accelerate the Nigerian economic diversification by enhancing productivity in critical sectors through technological innovation. That means how can we use innovation to boost Nigerian critical sectors, like using technology in agriculture, using technology in commerce, in healthcare, in many sectors you can think of. So the president mandated our ministry to implement that, and at the core of the renewed hub agenda is inclusive economic growth, productivity, and prosperity for all.
Okay.
To achieve this, the Honorable Minister for Communications, Innovations, and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, unveiled the strategic plan for the ministry, which has 5 strategic pillars. Firstly, knowledge. Secondly, policies. Thirdly, infrastructure. Fourthly, innovation, entrepreneurship, and capital. Lastly, but not the least, is trade. So if you look at these 5 strategic pillars are interwoven, and under each pillar, we have so many initiatives we intend to implement.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Artificial Intelligence Research Grant Program. We hear that the government plans to give money to Nigerian digital innovators so that they can fast-track these new AI applications. What's it about, and what should we expect from the program?
So under knowledge is the foundation upon which countries build a robust and sustainable economy. We have designed 3 initiatives under knowledge. Firstly is research. We want to position Nigeria among the top 25 percentile of research in 6 areas. Artificial intelligence is one of the areas. That's why we are offering grants for Nigerians, especially innovators, academia, and young startups, to do research on how we can build our national AI policy. We don't want to build the policy in isolation. Government doesn't want to use armchair theory to come up with a policy, because we want to formulate for Nigeria, and we want every Nigerian to contribute to that policy formulation. so that when it comes to implementation, it will be easier. We will jointly own it. So the research we are offering up to 5 million to 40 startups or innovators or academia to do research on how we can formulate a policy that can help Nigeria to position itself among the top leaders, top 50 leaders on artificial intelligence ranking by 2026, and also to create at least 50,000 jobs in that area. We are looking at a policy that can allow us to use artificial intelligence in the agriculture, in the healthcare, in the finance, in governance and ethics of the artificial intelligence itself. So the research is to encourage Nigerians to be at the forefront of developing this artificial intelligence.
Let me go on a break. When we come back, we continue with our conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks. We still have the DG of NITDA with us, Mr. Kashifu Abdullahi. We had a question for him. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So I know that one of the things that the system is meant to do is to have 3 million Nigerian youths engaged digitally. And I want to understand, I want you to explain to us how you're going to enhance the skills in this Nigerian youth. How can they get on board so that people that are watching right now can tap into the opportunities there?
So the second initiative under knowledge is Tech Talent. We have launched the 3 million Tech Talent program, and the program is designed to position Nigeria as the global talent net exporter. There is a research by Conferry that by 2030, there would be 85 million talent deficit globally, which will result to $8.5 trillion unrealized annual value. So we believe Nigeria can position itself to bridge this global talent gap. Also, according to PwC research, the Nigerian brain export, the optimal path to developing Nigerian economy. The report says that there is about 4 million coding vacancies globally, and Nigeria can conveniently train and place 1.5 to 2 million Nigerians to work remotely and fill these global gaps. So we designed the program through a participatory process. We conducted 2 workshops with the ecosystem players to understand what is the needs in the Nigerian market. And also we have conducted a research on skills gap within Nigeria and globally. And we had identified 12 skills in demand globally. And based on that, we launched the initiative to create an ecosystem. The initiative called for application for fellows, any Nigerian that want to develop skills in these 12 areas and ready to work within Nigeria or to work with an international organization, preferably to live in Nigeria and work remotely. Then secondly, we've called for expression for interest for partners, organizations that want to partner with us to achieve this ambitious target. We are looking for development partners, big tech, civil society organizations, subnationals like state governments, local governments to be part of it.
Okay.
Then we also called for training providers to also be part of it, because we are going to train in the 36 states. We need trainers in all states so that they will be part of it. Then we have the placement organizations that will place the participants on jobs, either locally or internationally. So the idea is not just to train people, but to place them on jobs after training.
All right, let me get a few more questions if I go ahead. Right?
Okay, sir. So tell us about the Nigerian Digital Conference coming up.
So 21st October has been designated as the Digital Nigeria Day. And we celebrate the week to celebrate our success in the digital economy and also bring tech experts, industry leaders, innovators, academia, and investors to network, connect, and engage in discussion on how we can shape the future of the Nigerian digital economy. So the first day, that's tomorrow, is going to focus more on emerging technologies. How can we use artificial intelligence, blockchain, robotics, and many more to create prosperity for all? And the second day, it will focus more on consumer technology and creative economy. How can we understand our consumers' need? Because technology or the platform business is mostly about the products and services and your number of users. And your product or services is as good as the number of users it have, and also the people that make it. So looking at that, we want Nigerians to discuss on how we can create made in Nigeria products that will serve our society and our needs. And also we will explore the creativity economy, because if you look at creativity in general, it's powered by technology. And Nigeria also, we have proven globally that we are talented when it comes to creativity in the area of music, in the area of film, and many more. And how can we use technology to empower our citizens to do more on that? And the last day will focus more on GovTech. The government wants to digitize government services. We are looking at how we can build our public digital infrastructure, having the Nigerian stack where we can allow innovators to innovate and build different government digital services for our citizens.
All right.
So it will focus more on that and challenge our startups to come up with solutions.
Okay,
and lastly, there is going to be an award night where we'll recognize people that have excelled in the digital economy.
All right. I mean, these all sound really nice and good. But see, when Nigerians think AI, digital economy, they're thinking, we have so many problems that we're not even sure AI is the next thing now in our thinking right now. Is it too far-fetched? Is it something that we can focus rather on something that is more pressing for Nigerians? But I've heard you say having this conference to discuss all the various solutions. But I think what I would say going forward is that when it comes to things like digital economy, how we can simplify governance, how we can simplify the creative economy, agriculture, all the various things you said we can use technology for, we really like to get some kind of energy, some excitement, because right now, I don't know if how excited you guys are, because I would have loved to hear more of the solutions. I don't want to believe it's the conference that will provide the solutions, but I'd like to hear some ideas your ministry already has just to provide. For example, I'd like to hear a software to make billing easier in the hospitals, or some kind of software you plan to do for education. I'd like to get some insights into what you're already thinking, where you are heading. So even those who show up at the conference are also hearing from government what their plans are, not just to share their own views. I mean, if you want to say a few things about what I just said.
Okay, firstly, I want us to look at it. We have a mindset that always we think we should have development before innovation, but it doesn't work that way. Always innovation comes before development, because innovation is the critical driver for any economic development. For example, in early 2000, when GSM or mobile technology came to Africa, people were saying, who will afford to have a mobile phone in Africa where people are struggling to have 3 square meals? But today, that technology has become enabler for almost all sectors. Because if you look at the financial or banking sector, it's empowered by technology, especially the mobile technology. And it has revolutionized so many things in Africa. So looking at that, we have started implementing so many initiatives in the agriculture sector. We have an initiative we call NAFSA, the National Adopted Village for Smart Agriculture. The idea is how can we make an agriculture a fancy business for our youths to be part of it? And also, how can we use technology to improve productivity in the agri sector? We have started in collaboration with some universities, 4 universities, on working with their agri research center to do research and also engaging the local community to use technology to improve their agri produce.
All right. All right, wish you all the best then. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdullahi, for joining us this morning. That's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we'll complete the end of the show. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.